here's today's little issue. The lights on. All the marker lights are working on the truck, but not the trailer. Turn signal still works. Those marker lights are not really doing what they should. We kind of have a little bit of marker lights. Okay, so the one is still, the one marker light line is still powered, but the majority are dead. Looks like we have some rewiring to do. Well, we made it home. It's a cold day for doing this kind of stuff. So we have marker lights and turn signals on right now. This is the electrical plug going to the trailer. We can check with our little light meter that, yes, we have trailer power. The switch is on. One of these is ground, the other one is brakes. I don't have either of them on right now. Oh, wait. Oh, no, that's either ground, that's brakes. Can't remember the way it is, but we have left turn signal, right turn signal, right trailer marker light, left trailer. Oh, the marker lights aren't working. Actually, yeah, this one was acting up the other day when I was driving it back. And this, I think, is the trouble spot, because when I did wiggle it around, it did actually turn off the light there. But we're going to check this first, just because it's easy to access. And yeah, we'll take a look. Okay, 2 straight slot screws and that little tabby thing that goes in here. You can take the cover off and expose the wires. We're actually looking pretty good there. I don't think anything's super corroded. So I think that this end, that might be factory sealed even still. I think that end's okay, which means it's probably down in there. Okay, so this design is actually a little atypical to how these normally are wired in. This normally has an end like that, right up to there, the bottom there, and they have another connector just like that in the hole there. But when I had the light plugged in, all the water would seep in and corrode underneath the thing, and I actually have a video of me fixing that on the road the one day. But I was dealing with that every couple months, like basically once a month I was under there rewiring this whole thing in the winter. So I said, screw it, I'm gonna hardwire it, connect all the wires together, hardwire, and seal it all off. And that lasted about 2 years now, but I think it's time to cut it open and see what's inside. I kind of messed up too, because I only put the one end on here. I forgot to put on the actual plug end. So it was just zip tied in place there. And it's going to be kind of nice to cut these wires and put this end on it so it looks factory. It's just better. So despite some of my best efforts to keep water and stuff out, doesn't look like it really worked. There's some green corrosion looking goo going on there, but it doesn't help that this was only like maybe half an inch covering the actual line, so it left an area for water to squeeze in there. So I'm gonna make this longer next time, but let's cut this open all the way, clean it up, and see what we're dealing with. Okay, all the ends of everything are exposed. And we have center power, we have left turn signal, right turn signal, marker light power, and then brake and ground, I'm assuming. Anyways, coming from the truck, we have power. So it was somewhere in between there. One of these connectors is full of gook and wasn't making contact anymore. So we're gonna trim these back, wire it all up again, and should be good to go. Okay, so here's where we're at today so far. This is on, gotta make sure of that. These are all ready to go. These are all ready to go as well. Got the butt splices all on. I have the shrink wrap on all the cables. There's dielectric grease inside of the shrink wraps. And I have one shrink wrap tube to cover the entire thing after. So I don't think I'm forgetting anything. So I think it's time to start putting these together. Okay, so they're connected. I just haven't done the shrink wrap yet. I want to make sure that it's actually going to work in the end. If I were to do this again, the ground, the white ground, the red brake power, and the blue center trailer power pin, I would make slightly shorter than the other four, because the other four you have to go from one end of the wire to the other side through the middle of these, and it requires a little bit of extra room to do so. So they're a little bit uneven and kind of sparkled together. Anyways, we'll let's take a look. I need to make this a good ground. So nothing, ground. Uh-oh. Methinks ground problem? You not grounded? Uh-oh. Okay, I have a slightly better ground. Kind of, maybe. Anyways, marker lights. Nah. Scrabble. Uh-oh. See? This is why we test. Ground. Come on. Oh boy. Okay, well. Anyways, we have more going on than just that one thing. Okay. Turn signal? Yeah. Okay, turn signal. Ground, nothing. Or marker lights for trailer, nothing. Then that one works. Okay, so we're still dead on that side. I'm thinking it might have something to do with this split in the line right up there from the last time I did this is accidentally cut open. So we might have to cut this tube back even farther and just redo this whole thing. Gross. So it actually turns out that it's the black wire we need to investigate. It has power from here, but by the time it goes through the cord to here, ain't got nothing. There's nothing going on. Okay, I've debated on a lot of time on what I'm gonna do here. Went underneath. I don't really have all that much room to pull out more cable because I have power there. I don't have power there. It's somewhere in the line here, and I went digging and found that. So my trailers, I had an issue a little bit ago where if I jackknife the trailer, when I go to pull back, the corner of the trailer would actually grab the light cord and rip it out of its socket there. This is before I hardwired it. This is one of the points where it actually grabbed, and I guess it just made a little pinhole in the black line and was able to get salt in there and corrode it away. So I need to make a new connection here. The question is, do I want to cut this off, take this whole section of line out, and then make a new connection here, or just leave it? You know what, I'm probably just going to leave it, only because I can't pull any more cable out from underneath the truck there. That's basically as far as I want to go. And I'm worried it would make this too short for the trailers. But yeah, anyways, we need to cut this down and make a new butt splice conglomerate like that. Hooray! Another point where issues can arise. And I would go out and maybe buy a new light cord just so I don't have this second area. But it's currently Boxing Day, which is a holiday in Ontario, and none of the stores are open. Yeah. Everything good, except for this. I literally just pulled it apart and it snapped in half. So yeah, there was no connection going on between those. There we go. 2 butt splices in a row, all wrapped up again. Now the only problem is I didn't actually cut all the wires, so I can't get one of those giant shrink tubes to go over the entire thing. So this is just going to have to be electrical taped on, which isn't a great seal. So that's probably going to go bad again, but at that point I'll probably just get a new light cord. Because yeah, that's pretty short. Nah, we'll see. Anyways, test her out, see that it all works. Marker light 1, marker light 2. Holy crap, we're good to go. So now we need to figure out why I don't have marker lights on the back, just these 2. So I'm thinking it's the connection right between those 2 lights is killing the rest of them. Let's see. I think that might be it. That's the other end. And it actually came from this guy right here. So if we do this, now we kind of get something. God, I had a better connection than that before. There, yeah. And this guy should be for the other 2 big lights. But we can't get a connection right now. Anyways, we'll splice it together, make it good. Oh, there we go. That's a little better. Excellent. Everything's a mess today. I have the truck parked out front because I can't pull in the field right now. Too much snow. But the one video I was talking about an electrical backfeeding fault on the trailers. This here is the culprit. I guess the turn signal is backfeeding into the marker lights. So it's something wrong with this plug here. So we have a replacement one, but it didn't come with bullet ends like the original. So got to change these out real quick. Kind of like that. Just like that. So this is the bigger job I have to do on this trailer. The one time I jackknifed the pup into the fender, which I also have a replacement fender, but the ratchet, or this winder thing, hit that corner, but it also ripped the track right off the mounts there. So I have some aluminum bar that I'm gonna put up there, but I need to undo these, mark out the hole, drill it, and go from there. We'll see how it turns out. I had to undo quite a few of the bolts along the rails so I could move the whole thing. Nice! A couple brackets should do the trick. Okay, everything's in place. There's another bracket on the other side. The only problem is this bolt is supposed to stick out and stop one of these from sliding off the edge, but with the bracket it doesn't quite stick out far enough, and you can just pull one of these right off the edge. So I am gonna have to get a longer bolt for that one. But yeah, she's back in good condition again. All right. So with that done and out of the way, let's see about replacing this fender now. All it requires is getting 6 bolts off. There's one there. The rest are somewhere in there. Anyways, yeah. Take those off and then mount up the new fender, drill 6 holes, and it's good to go. Yay! Well, that'll look better. There we go. All in position. Needs a quick bath, but then it's ready for a safety tomorrow. Squiddy! Squiddy, come back here. Squiddy. Hello, Squid. How's the squidoosh? Meow. 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 Oh man. Terrible. Okay, we're here in the sleeper of the truck. I have a new microphone on this camera, so hopefully it's sounding pretty good. But anyways, I have new parts back here somewhere. There they are in the dark. Steering components. I wonder what it could be. Oh god, that requires a knife. I had a teaser of picking up new parts. I'm trying to do this one-handed here. Yeah. And I said I can't show you the box because it kind of gives it away. Yeah. Oh god, this is all taped up too? Okay, we'll try this now. Oh. Yeah. Wow, a new steering wheel! Oh my god! Okay, so it is the same steering wheel that I already have, but I'm kind of worried that it comes with its, I guess, steering wheel installation kit rather than just the button pushy dude that goes on the top. But yeah, we'll take that one off and see how it goes. Okay, it's actually kind of chilly in the truck, so I turned on the bunk heater. It'll start making noise in a little bit. But okay, so first step, zoom in on the steering wheel, and we got to take this off to get access to the bolts. Normally you'd have to peel it off or stuff, but there. Anyways, usually when you pop it and it's not cold, this thing just falls off because the seam around it is completely shot and it doesn't actually hold on or anything. And then you have this plate that comes off. I don't think I actually hooked that up. Oops. Now let's take this cable off. Left with just the steering nut, which we'll grab a thingamabob for to get it off, and then a steering wheel removal kit, which is two things that'll go in right here and yank the whole thing off. Be back in a second with tools. Okay, this big bolt in the middle is a 1-inch bit. It's very loose. That's unusual. Anyways, we'll leave it tightened up just a touch. Now, I thought I went and got a fancy steering wheel puller kit, but it turns out it's just stuff that's not in its own carrying case, so it's in a bucket here. There we go. Old steering wheel off. Okay, so that's how the whole thing goes together. We can manage that. Okay, so the new kit comes with this piece, contact ring, chrome hub, plastic cover thing. It was definitely not installed in that sequence out of the package, but it is, according to the previous steering wheel, supposed to look something like this. So the hub is in there, then the contact ring, and then the outer hub, in this case is black plastic, the new one's chrome. So we're just gonna set everything up as it is here, and yeah, go from there. Oh man, I might need a press for this. Ow. Well, I sure hope this is the right way, because it's not coming off again. That's on there. This little grounding plug is away from touching the metal around it. And it looks like the old steering wheel. Okay, that's done. Next is going to be this trim. And oh, it sits in there just like that. Alright. So we'll do that. Put it on like that. Line up the holes. Line up the holes. Where did hose go? Hole, hole, hole. Hole, hole, hole. Okay. Yes. So that's how that lines up. So position everything like that. Start feeding in screws. Uh-oh. Oh no, what? Okay. Missed one step. Oh crap. Okay, so according to the instructions, these black bolts are supposed to be fed in before the contact plate is pressed in and sit in there. Great. Okay, I went to the shop, pulled this off with a couple pry bars, put these in place first, pressed it all back in, and now we're good to go. Okay, there's the hub all put together, just need to tighten it down. Okay, so I didn't actually mark the center of the steering wheel, but it is pretty close to straight when it came off. We're just going to find the right notch. That looks about right, probably. It's covered in styrofoam bits though. Jeez. Reefer down so it never comes off again. Nice. I don't have a thing on here yet. Will that? Yeah, okay, that honks the horn. So we'll just slop like that and place in place. Ha ha! It works. Okay, I do have the engine heater on, but this is still going to be a cold start. Has anyone tried to weaponize their ADHD before? It's spring cleanup time. So we've got the fire going there. We got to get rid of some of the stuff around the back here. I have the carburetor apart on the dirt bike. I'm going to do that today. But most importantly, race car's out of the shop. I need to get these side boxes done. It's been 2 years and I still haven't finished the brackets for it. And I need to do it today because the trailers are parked in the yard right now to get measurements and mounted on. Fire's taken off. And I got to get them out of the yard tonight because we're expecting tons of rain over the weekend. So truck's out getting an oil change right now. When it's done, I'll pick it up and move these trailers out. So we only have so much time to get these side boxes done. And here I am thinking I turned the water off on the house over the winter. Guess not. So last I left off on these forever ago, just finished drilling the holes to actually have the brackets attached to it. And there's 2 little holes on each side on the bottom that attach the bottom. Yeah, so once these are put in place, the measurements are correct, then I have, where did they go? These 4 pieces of metal are going to be what's actually attached to the bottom of the trailers. Over there somewhere. So it's a whole bunch of drilling holes. Well, there we go. That's the frame for the box. Now we just need to take that, put it up underneath the trailer. Let me get a shot of the trailer. There we go, now I can zoom. We'll mount it up underneath on the trailer, mark out the holes to drill, and start drilling. Neat. So that's the frame in place. And that is with the box in place. Cool. I don't know, I'm kind of thinking the bar across the top might have to replace with C-channel like this or something, because I don't know if that's going to be structurally strong enough once all the straps are in place. But we can get the measurements done, and if in the future I need to swap it to C-channel, all the holes will be in the same place. So yeah, let's mark some spots for holes and keep going. Okay, one thing I was worried about with mounting this is when I loop a chain underneath here to hook on to the bottom, which is a legal securement as far as anything I have seen. Some people say it's not, other people say it is, but I'm tempted to just cut off the end of the C-channel right here. It's not really doing anything structural sticking out past that point. And then I could easily hook the chain on anywhere without having to worry about it binding up with stuff. Although even then, I don't think it'll reach. Because you have to be able to like loop it under, so I'd need to cut it back that far, which is past this point. So there might not be any point to that. Okay, we'll leave it for now. It's a little more rust-proofy this way. It's better paint than what I can do. So I bolted all 4 pieces together, and I drilled the 4 holes that will attach it to the trailer. So all 4 are now exactly the same. And yeah, I'm gonna paint this up, and then later on this weekend we'll actually go and permanently mount it to the trailer. Cool. Well, it's a new day. The rails are painted. The boxes are pretty much ready to go on the trailer. I don't have the trailers here, but I'm just doing some work on the Moffett, doing an oil change. See about changing out this broken exhaust, so maybe it won't be quite so loud. It's broken off at the end there. Oil change, grease it, but we have a thunderstorm coming in, so I'm kind of moving inside for the moment. Well, that was quick. We have a new filter on. Pulled the old exhaust off. That's where it was broken. We're gonna try to put a new one on now, but I gotta cut it at a 90. So it's still raining outside again, I guess. Anyways, cut this in half. So now that's gonna sit like that for the 90. I also decided I should probably re-grease these grinders because they don't sound too clean, but that actually doesn't look too bad. I've got a few more grinders to do this to as well though. Not the prettiest thing in the world, but it'll do the job. Okay, I was able to get the exhaust off because I can't get this on the bottom without having the exhaust off. This stud was broken, ended up getting it off by welding a nut onto it. That's good. But yeah, now we're gonna go in here, ignore the music, don't get a copyright strike. Yeah, I gotta fix up these joints on this guy. I tried welding it before in place, but yeah, we're gonna do a better job of it now. Oh yeah, I can make that work. It ain't the prettiest, but it'll work. Oh yeah, look at that. I'm still wearing a respirator. I was thinking of putting a loop here to hold it in place, but then it's engine vibrating against body. The last brace was up here connected to the engine. So I think I'm just going to leave that as it is now. It would be nice to get something to support it again so it doesn't rip off on the exhaust again. But let's start it up in here. How quiet it's going to be now. Oh, connecting battery would help. Okay, try 2. Come on, starter. Ha ha ha. Yeah. That's nice. And the wheel doesn't even come close to it. That's good. Well, she's all greased up, good to go. Except I'm also working to make it look pretty. Driveway thing done here because I need to park the truck here.
It'd make life a lot easier.
It would, because it's going to rain a lot tomorrow.
For sure.
Yeah.
So you have to move your truck tonight.
Yep.